Hello, my name's Alexandre. I'm gonna tell my testimony of God's light. I'm gonna tell you guys about God's light. God's light is awesome. It's one of the most awesome things that I've ever seen in my whole life, and I actually had to go through it through getting in a fight with 7 guys with one arm. But in the end, I had to forgive them because God gave me a second chance, and He gave me a new outlook on life, and I got to see what it was like, and I seen Heaven's Gate. And so when I seen Heaven's Gate, before that had happened, I heard a ring. I heard like a first I heard like a loud noise when I got hit on the head. Then I heard ringing. Then I heard a loud tone. When I heard a really loud tone of ringing, and like in a white flash. Within the white flash, I was in God's presence, and I didn't know it. And I was angry. I was cussing, and I was mad. And I was in a place of anger, and God, just through God's grace, God didn't care that I was angry and that I was cussing, and He had mercy on me, and He just talked to me as if nothing had happened. And He spoke to me, and he said, "Do you want to come with me, or do you want to go back and fight?" And so from there, I kind of stood there pondering, and then tried to look at God like 3 times. And when I tried to look up, because when somebody's talking to you, you have to look up at them naturally, to look in their eyes. Well, that's a habit of mine. I have to look in people's eyes when they talk to me. So when He was talking to me, I just had the habit to look at Him, and when I did, I could see that He was a man and He was floating, but I couldn't see Him completely because God put me back facing another way. And I did this 2 other times, and He did the same thing. He just touched me gently and put me back the same way that I was. And so when God was asking me if I wanted to come through the gates of heaven with Him, and He gave me a choice, and I chose to come back because I was afraid to go through the gates, because I had this feeling that if I went through those gates, then that would be then that was it. So I was like I was pretty sure to make it clear I wanted to come back and live my life. And I feel like it's kind of like a fish that gets thrown out of water, or an animal caught in a trap or something like that. Like something to where you can understand, to where it wasn't ready yet. And so He took me and He threw me back in the water, so to speak, by letting me come back. And so, anyways, though, as I seen God walk in the gate of heaven, when I seen Him walk in, I could see that He walked in, and like a bird flew over Him, and it was like a whole new world was behind the gates of heaven. And the gates were tall, taller than the stratosphere, taller than, really tall, like tall, high, high, high up there, like high, like beyond my measurement. And my capacity to tell you how far, I couldn't tell you how many houses or how many buildings that it was, but it was really, really up there, tall, tall like a mountain. And when the angel when the angel came down from up off top of the gate, he stood on all fours. And when he stood on all fours, he stood up in vertical like a man. And when he stood up like a man, his wings spread out. And when his wings spread out, he dropped down like he was diving down like an eagle or like a hawk. And he grabbed me. He grabbed my spirit supernaturally. He grabbed my spirit, and He carried me back to my body. And the angel stopped halfway because I regretted going in the gate. God had the angel stop, and I seen another planet. And when I seen another planet, I seen that the other planet had like an atmosphere with clouds, like dark gray clouds and red lightning. And I said, "Let's go down there." And the angel said, "You don't want to go down there." And so and so and then I asked it why. And then he said, "It's up to Him." And then I said, him, because I must have been out of it from being hit on my head, or something. I forgot that I had just came from God's presence. And so I was kind of like, felt kind of stupid a little bit, because like I forgot that I was right there. But when I came back, you could see why, I would be forgetting, because I got hit on the head with a 2x4. But anyways, I arose, and I seen all 7 guys that hit me. They were running away, and when they ran away, I got up and I was angry, and I wanted my bike back. And so I took my bike back. I was like, "Dámelo mi bicicleta," and I didn't speak no Spanish or nothing. So all of a sudden I came back speaking Spanish. I said, "Dámelo mi bicicleta." I was pissed, and he gave me back my bike, and he gave me back the bike, and then I had to call the ambulance. And when I called the ambulance came and they gave me staples, put me staples in my head, like I had sutures, and they had like a staple gun. And so they had to like staple my head like 7, like probably like 24 times, or whatever, with staples. And then when they stapled my head, it was a car accident that day, and it was like more